Yes, people, back again, and we're here today for the Girona Liverpool preview. The game's obviously being played tomorrow, so I thought I'd do the preview today, then the watch along tomorrow. And obviously, today's the only time I could fit the preview in. So we're going to preview for the game. We're also a couple of other topics. Obviously, we'll do our lineup prediction. And also, we're going to speak about the contract update. Let's get straight into it. Girona versus Liverpool. So, Girona-Liverpool tomorrow is at 5:45, which is a nice time, I think. We haven't played. We very rarely ever play on the early kickoff on the Champions League. Normally, that happens when we go to, like, countries outside, like, how do I put it? Out of like the big countries like Spain, Germany, and that. Like if we was to go to Austria, we'll play on like a 5:45 normally, for some reason. But let's get into it. Obviously, the game is tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it because obviously we didn't play at the weekend. Liverpool did not play at the weekend. Obviously, that was due to the weather that happened. Obviously, the Merseyside derby was unfortunately cancelled, but it was a good weekend for us Liverpool fans because Chelsea won. Arsenal dropped points, Manchester City dropped points. So 2 out of the 3 teams that we are somewhat competing for the Premier League title for, 2 out of 3 of them dropped points. And the main one being Arsenal. Everyone thinking Arsenal's going to be the team that's going to really try and push Liverpool, as Man City look like they're going to be falling away. And it looks like Chelsea potentially now could be that side that could potentially challenge for the Premier League title. I certainly said about a month ago, I think they could challenge for the title, or being in January if they go and get a goalkeeper and maybe another centre-back. I think they can make a good challenge for that Premier League title. But we're not here to talk about the Premier League, but that was just a quick positive. Obviously, Liverpool didn't play because obviously due to the weather. And obviously now we have that game in hand upon them. Obviously, Chelsea closed the gap to 4 points, but all being we have got a game and we win that game and then we go back to 7 points and it's fine. So it's now looking like that result against Chelsea, that big 2-1, is looking massive now. Because if that was a draw, like, you know what I mean? And it's massive because we have to, now we can go to Stamford Bridge with a potential gap because Stamford Bridge this season is looking like a tough place to go to. So, and yeah, let's get straight into it. But obviously, Liverpool Girona tomorrow. Let's actually have a look where both teams do stand to start off with. Liverpool obviously sitting top of the Champions League group on 15 points, 5 wins out of 5, only conceding 1 goal, which is brilliant. And that was against AC Milan, wasn't it? Where are they actually now, AC Milan? Yeah, they are 16th. So for Liverpool, we sit in first. Girona sit in 30th. 1 win out of 5, 4 losses, conceding 4. Sorry, and then obviously. Oh, sorry, no, they've conceded 9, got a -5 goal difference. Wow. Yeah, 1 win in the last 5. It's not going too well for Girona. I mean, they had a very good season last season. Obviously, they qualified for the Champions League. They had a very good season. At one point, they was competing for the La Liga, albeit they've lost a couple of players and they fell off this season. But they need, if they want any standing chance to go through, they need to get something from this game. Now, I don't know who have they got in their remaining Champions League games. Girona, UCL fixtures. they've got obviously Liverpool, Milan, they're competing, and then Arsenal. So it's looking sticky for Girona, if I'm being honest. It's going to be mad interesting if they actually do pull this off and somehow do go through. Or I don't think they will, if I'm being honest. Even if they get something tomorrow, I just don't. I think you'll see Real Madrid turn it up. Maybe if teams like Club Brugge and Final completely drop off, but I don't think no one would have expected the teams like, I don't know, Brest, Celtic, to have done really well. Monaco, maybe. You could also say teams that you'd probably think Girona should be finishing above. You got like Leipzig down in there. I mean, they're damn mad. If they actually lose, they're full on out. That is mad. I thought Leipzig would have easier made at least the playoffs. Salzburg are down there. PSG as well. They're going to have to start turning it up. Like, they could be out within the next game week or two. And obviously Liverpool top. It's looking nice for us. We're obviously 5 points clear. Massive goal difference, basically 6 points clear because we've got massive goal difference on Aston Villa by 6. And it looks like they're looking to a bit of sticky form right now in the Champions League and in the league as well. I personally believe it's gonna be between these 3 teams right here who's going to finish top. I don't know who Inter have got in their remaining games. Barca, Dortmund are doing well. Atalanta, Leverkusen, Arsenal. Man, Arsenal needs to definitely get a win because that is genuinely from 5th to like genuinely, you could genuinely say within the next game week or 2, you could see someone like an Atalanta who loses all the remaining games could go from 5th to like 24th, which is kind of mad. But yeah, I mean, look, we're going to get into the team news in a minute because we've had some big news from some outlets. Some players are back in training. We're going to speak a little bit about that. So let's why not get into it. I mean, look, for me, this game is, I won't say it's a dead rubber because, we've still got a bit of work to do. I mean, if we want to top the group, which is really nice, I think that will be a really good boost for the rest of the competition. And I think it will show teams that, we have been the best team in the world this season, and rightly so, and look to continue that form. But yeah, let's get into the team news and lineup prediction. Obviously, we now know that Jota is back in team training. Alisson's back in team training. Chiesa has picked up an illness. He was obviously back in training, but unfortunately has fell ill. So lucky enough it's not an injury, which is good, because if it was an injury, then my God, I think it would have been really, really disappointing, if I'm being honest. As I can get up on FootMob, they have 2 injuries to Yankel Carrera and Victor Tisakov. Yeah, and let's look, Chiesa's ill. Conor Bradley is still out with a hamstring. McAllister is going to be suspended for this game. He's going to also be suspended for Fulham as well. Kostas Tsimikas, we've not really seen any news on him. We know it was looking like a potential sideline on the sideline to him, and obviously Kanate, same with Conor Bradley, about the same rough spell. It's a quick team form coming into this. Obviously, Girona have only got 1 win in the last 5 against Espanyol, losing to Sturm Graz in the Champions League. Villarreal, Longres, and they're losing 3-0 to Real Madrid. As for Liverpool, 2-0 against Aston Villa, 3-2 Southampton, 2-0 against Madrid, 2-0 against Manchester City. And then obviously we're coming back off a point at St. James's Park. So yeah, let's get into what I think will be the team that will play against Girona tomorrow. So let's have a look at this. So obviously we'll change the formation to here we go. So in goal it's going to be Caoimhin Kelleher. Obviously Alisson is back in training, but he's not going to start this game. I think Alisson is most likely to probably start the game against Southampton for potential minutes. Obviously, by the time he's come back, he would have been out for nearly about 2 months because he got injured against Crystal Palace. So he would have been out for that nearly 2 months. So I think we probably play him against them, if I'm honest. At right back, I do think we probably see Trent. To be honest with you, I would. He needs obviously the minutes. He looked very good against Newcastle. He looked very good against Manchester City. So I think for Trent, he'll get another start just to build up some more minutes after recovering from the injury. At centre back, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be Kwanzaa. Why is my cue not working? Okay, we'll just what the hell? I don't know why my cue isn't working. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it works. I would honestly like to rest Virgil van Dijk. But do I think Slot's going to rest him? No, I don't. I don't think he is going to rest Virgil. Because I think he'll look to as the point where he'll probably want to just get this Champions League kind of wrapped up. Me personally, I would want to rest him because I don't want to risk any more injuries right now, especially at centre-back. At left-back, I think it's going to be... You could go Joe Gomez. But I do think it's going to be Andrew Robertson at left-back. My God, these ads are bloody jarring. I beg's flipping lineup builder sponsor me one day. And then in the 2 centre mids, obviously McAllister is going to be out due to suspension. So it's going to be, Curtis Jones. Then, who do you think is going to partner him? I want to rest Gravenberch. By this point, he would have had a week's rest, but I would actually give him a bit longer, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to think, how do you go about doing this? You know what? Wild take. Could we see a Szoboszlai? I mean, we saw it in pre-season in that double pivot role. And in this sort of game, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that because due to the fact that the Champions League is almost about wrapped up. We win this game no matter what, it's wrapped up. Worst comes to worst, we're losing. We could bring on big hitters. Could we see a Tyler Morton? Could we see a Taro Endo? You know what? I'm going to stick up for my boy Endo. Endo to start. I want to see Endo start. I think, why not? Give McAllister, obviously McAllister's suspension, and give Gravenberch that long rest he needs. And I think Jones and Endo would do a good job in the double pivot. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me. In the centre role, I want to see Harvey Elliott. He's had a couple of minutes here and there. I think this could be a really good game to build up his fitness. Would you want to be risking him against the games that we got coming up? You have to think about it. The next game that he's likely to definitely start will be Southampton in the Cup, and that's not for another week. He's been back from injury now for 2-3 weeks. We need to start building these players up for fitness. Do you know what I mean? And Harvey Elliott's been out for some time now, since September, late August, early September. He's been out, so he's been out for a long while. He needs to build up that fitness. I want to see him start at left wing. I want to see Cody Gakpo. at left wing. Yeah, because I think I know who I'm going to go down the middle for this one. At right wing, it's going to be Mohamed Salah, but hopefully Slot will take him after maybe, if we're winning the game, take him off after 60th minute, get him in wrapped up, ready for Fulham, because we've got some big games coming up. But obviously we've got Tottenham coming up. After this, it's Fulham, so get Salah will probably. Then obviously he'll play the Fulham game, rest him for Southampton, back fresh for Tottenham. Down the middle has to be this man, Lucho Diaz. I don't want to see Darwin up front. I'm sorry. Maybe in the cup, but not in this game, if I'm being honest. So this is my team to play against Girona. 1 second. Just 1 sec. So that's the team I've got. I've gone with Kelleher, Trent at right back, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, Robertson, Jones, Endo, Salah, Harvey, Gakpo, Diaz. This is the team I want, and I think this is a fair team that should be probably beating Atalanta, if I'm being honest. This is a team that should be winning that game. We're going to go through some of the comments. Massive week for the Reds. Yep, smash the likes. What's he going for in his team? Kelleher, Trent, Gomez, VVD, Robertson, Jones, Endo, Salah, Harvey, Darwin, and Diaz. Yeah, 3-0, 4-0. So let's get into the score prediction then. My score prediction is a score that I've predicted probably 9 times out of 10 all season. Girona 0, Liverpool 2. I think the way I look at it is, I think the team that Slot puts out is going to be very mindful of what I predict. I think if he puts this out sort of similar team, I think Liverpool get the job done. They sail off into the next round, and this team should be enough to beat Girona. Win this, obviously we're into the knockouts, and I think that now, then we've got what? Maybe the Slot think of it, get this game done, right? So then the Lille game and the PSV game, he can just rest players. Or does he look at it as, look, December's a tricky month with games every 3-4 days, and does he just go with, look, I'm going to rest a couple of players here. If we draw or lose, look, we've still got the PSV game and the Lille game to fall back on to pick up some points, so we definitely make it through to the next round. I think there's a couple of options that Arne Slot could do here. I won't be mind seeing this team. I just want to see a couple of players rested, especially in the middle of the park. Freshen it up a bit. With Harvey Elliott, get him back some minutes. Endo, get him in so we can get the likes of, obviously, McAllister at that point. I think he looks leggy. I think it's kind of a good thing that he's going to be suspended for the next 2 games. And then obviously get a fresh Ryan Gravenberch ready for Fulham. At that point, he would have had, a good week and a half rest. Probably comes on for maybe 10-20 minutes at the end of the game, but all in all, he'll get a good solid rest. Harvey Elliott minutes, Gakpo. We haven't really got many options. I think when players like Chiesa can get up to fitness, Jota can get up to fitness, you could do that. To be honest, you probably could go Darwin. Even though right now he's in atrocious form, but I think the fact that you could potentially look at it, maybe one of our front three line, you could rest him for them because he's not going to play against Fulham. That could be what you could go for. That is my score prediction. I've gone for a Liverpool 2-0 win. And obviously, look, big game against Girona. Win, wrap that up. And yeah, and obviously, look, after that, we just move on to Fulham. And look, these are a quick look at some of our fixtures. Obviously, it's full screen this shit. Obviously, Everton games have been postponed. We don't know when that's going to be postponed. It could be a game week 25, game week 33, other current rumours that are going around. Liverpool, Fulham on a Saturday. Then it's the Wednesday against Southampton. Then on the Sunday, it's Tottenham. We've got a nice little rest. Potentially, that's when they could fit in maybe the Everton game. I wouldn't be surprised to that. I think for us, it's just about getting through this tricky period. The next couple of games, I do think our December fixtures are winnable. If I'm being honest with you, I think looking how many games we have left, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we don't. We have 6, sorry. 6 games left. Honestly, I think Liverpool will win 5 out of 6. I think we beat West Ham, we beat Leicester, we beat Tottenham, we beat Fulham, we beat Southampton. Girona could be a draw. We could win 6 out of 6. I'll definitely take 6 out of 6 because at that point we're into the semi-finals of the Cup. We're definitely into the next round of the Champions League, and we've picked up another solid 12 points from the Premier League. So look, and then after that, if you look at our fixtures after that, there's kind of a few little breaks because you've then got about a week to Man United. We're going to be playing a B/C team against Accrington, so the players are going to have another solid over week rest until Nottingham Forest. And then obviously Brentford, Ipswich. Okay, I'm not sure what's gone off there, but yeah, cool. Make sure you do tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's quickly talk about contract news. So the contract update right now is currently Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent have all received their contract proposals. There is current rumours that Van Dijk and Salah's contracts have been agreed. It's just about finalising announcements and all that stuff that comes with contracts. I'm of the opinion, I actually genuinely believe, the way I look at it is, right, how many days have we got until Christmas? It's the 9th today? If this news is starting to circulate, we could hear something within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm going to leave this out there. I reckon the club is going to announce a contract on Christmas Day. I think they'll announce it on Christmas Day because I think they know how the fan base will feel about the contracts, and I feel like announcing that on Christmas Day would be kind of sick. I think the one thing that's going to be upsetting this year, Jurgen Klopp's annual Christmas video, because every year he always does like a video saying like, "Well, Merry Christmas to all the fans, blah blah blah, to the holidays and all that." It's actually going to be mad. He's not going to do that this year. I wonder if Arnie Slot will do it. Yeah, that's going to feel weird because normally on Christmas Day, about 7, 8 o'clock, they always tweet out like a quick good morning from Jurgen, like saying Merry Christmas and all that. It's going to be mad to not see that. But I am one of the opinion that the club will announce one of the 3 contracts on Christmas Day. That's just my opinion. It's not like someone's told me that information. That's just my prediction. That's just my opinion that the club will announce one of the contracts. I believe this is how I see it going. I think Virgil van Dijk will be announced first. then I think it'd be Mohamed Salah, and then Trent. If we can have Salah and VVD boxed before the end of the year, positive, then we just have to full send getting Trent done. This shouldn't have took as long as it did. We shouldn't have left it with 6-7 months to go, leaving our three out our 4 best players with little months left on their contracts is scandalous, and it's just a stupid, embarrassing thing by the club. But we have to soak it up and make those mistakes, amend those mistakes by signing. The rumours of the current years is that Trent will sign a 4 to 5, is what I've seen, and Van Dijk and Salah will be 2 years. I think what the club will do with them two will be a 2-year contract with potentially an option to third, because I think the club and Michael Edwards will be like thinking, look, if it's a 2-year contract, we can probably salvage some money if they do fall off a cliff. And if they're literally not falling off a cliff, like Van Dijk is still quality in 2 years' time and Salah still quality in 2 years' time, we have that option to expand for a third. But that is my preview. If you are watching on playback, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like, comment, and for more. Not really sure what you mean by that, mate, in the comments, but I would love the club to do like I don't know if anyone's watched The Office, where it says, I'm not leaving. That's what I think the club should do in terms of like announcement for contracts. I think that'd be really sick. But I hope all 3 of them do sign on, man. I think it'd be a massive boost for the rest of the season as well. And just everything around the club right now is going so well. If genuinely these contract announcements do happen in the contracts, man, I think that's just going to spear us on for the rest of the season. And it's not going to have that weight and cloud over our shoulder, if I'm honest, with the contracts. Because I think that's the only thing that's just the negative right now is the contracts. Everything else is going well off the pitch and on the pitch in terms of the football, in terms of where we are in the table as well. So, yeah, make sure you do smash them like, subscribe, and we'll be back tomorrow for a watch along. Liverpool Girona, up the Reds. I've gone with a 2-0 Liverpool win. If you're watching on playback, make sure you do subscribe, and yeah, we will be back tomorrow about we were going live about 5:15, so about half an hour before kickoff. But until then, take care.